This isn't a Game of Thrones. It's the game of information.
The German foreign minister went to Beijing to reaffirm that Europe would not let China invade Taiwan.
And more information.
Government can't keep taking the fall for your own mess, for your own mistakes.
And more information.
We did some work on the Third Mainland Bridge before. Where are there potholes now?
You want to play?
Political way to destroy. Let me tell you.
It's game on. Let the games begin.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
So I have a challenge for you today, this morning. Depending on when you might be picking this program, in Abuja or in Port Harcourt. It could be in the late hours of the morning or early hours of the afternoon. In Lagos, it is morning, Monday morning actually. So what's the challenge? Well, a friend of mine once said that in a world where cowhide is big business, Nigerians are busy eating their belt and their shoes and their bags in the name of pomo. So the challenge this morning is that I need you to abstain from eating pomo, cow skin. That is, for those who don't, well, everybody knows pomo in this country, I'm sure. And what is the upside? What do you benefit by restricting your pomo diet? You can then earn some dollars. So that, my friend, who was complaining about people eating their belt in Nigeria, would relate, I'm sure, if he's listening to me now. The question is, can you do that for me? Please? Well, if you need to earn some dollars, then you have to cut down on the amount of pomo you eat. It'll be like, how much pomo? How much of my pomo that I eat that I can barely afford these days will sew a bag? I know it's a challenge, but it is very easy. In fact, as Razak said, it's as easy as the day. So let's break it down for you. Each time you eat pomo, you consume the dollars. If you do not believe me, listen to what I'm about to tell you now. Okay? Now, the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. I'm sure you're familiar with the Miyetti Allah. The acronym is MACBAN, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. Well, that group has said that Nigeria earns approximately $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion annually from the exportation of hides and skin, aka pomo. Yeah, it's the same pomo that you eat. Nigeria earns over $1 billion annually from exporting it. In Abuja, the president of the group, that's MACBAN, his name is Othman Ngelzama. He said the country's livestock sector is currently valued at over 33 trillion naira. And this can grow to over 75 trillion naira in the coming years due to certain new investments that we hear are being made in that sector. According to Ngelzama, the livestock ministry contributes 10% of the gross domestic product to Nigeria's economy, that's the GDP, and also 30% of the agricultural GDP. So, the livestock ministry contributes 10% of the GDP to the economy and 30% of the agricultural GDP. So 10% of total GDP and 30% of agricultural GDP. And on that bombshell note, that pomo can be worth billions, even trillions, I say, hello, welcome to the Fintex show. I'm Femi Obong-Daniels. We talk the non-oil export sector here, as well as fintech and fintech peripherals. I'm the guy who just speaks English Here are the brains who make the content rich. Let's welcome Niyi Adeosun. He's our non-oil export coach and expert. Hello, Niyi. How are you doing?
Good morning, Femi.
Yeah.
And good morning,
It is phonemi, I know. So, and I enjoy bouncing off the smart
Razak is very mischievous this morning.
Razak is, I don't know what to say about him. Meet Razak Olaegbe. He's one of the smartest people I know. And every week he's better than something. What are you better than? Welcome, Niyi and Razak. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can join the conversation. And you can reach out because there will be vital information you're going to be picking out here. Kofi Bartels is right by me. And here's the number, WhatsApp number through which you can communicate, not on the show itself, but you need this number so that you can ask questions. We do this once a week and we don't return again until a week later. So you might, if you haven't had this number down by now, have it down. It's 0912 171 2885. Again, that's 0912 171 2885. It's not for SMS, no SMS, not SMS, not phone calls. It is WhatsApp messages, okay? Once again, 0912 171 2885. Gentlemen, let me go straight into what matters. I want you to make a choice right now for starters. What do you want? I look at you, and I've not been at mealtime with you, but you look like a pomo lover. So if you had to make a choice, your pomo or the dollars you can sell it for, choose what?
So thank you, Femi. To be honest with you, when Razak sent the script to me and I looked through, when I read it, I was angry. I was angry.
I wants to spoil.
Yes.
Wants to spoil dinner for me. You that like pomo, pomo.
Oh yeah. I mean. I remember when I went to Ijebu. If you remember when I went to buy Gary in Ijebu.
Yes.
I bought pomo.
Okay.
So because there's pomo Jebu, so it's a delicacy really, you know. So for Razak to now come and look at me in the face, bluntly telling me that something that had
to make a choice,
that should come and make a choice.
It just sounds like blackmail.
You don't understand? You understand? I'm like dollar. You understand? When we get to the point of dollar, it will take care of itself. You understand?
So you will sacrifice dollar for pomo. Yeah, like they say, bad habits die hard.
So something has to really give. You understand? You know, when you look at the business of pomo, really, and I think I've said that on this show before. I mean, in my church, I remember my pastor, was trying to talk to people about how to key into business value chains, right? You know, and it was doing an analysis of Lagos, for example. At that time, this was over 10 years ago, So, and it was saying that it was looking at the population of Lagos, and it was saying that at that time, that pomo was just 59. Okay? At that time, Lagos was about 20 million. Lagos was about 20 million. And it was taking the statistics of maybe about 30%. And it was saying that if you do 50 naira, times 30% of the population of Lagos at that time that we could have assumed that was eating pomo of the 20 million. So he was talking about the figure and the amount of money that plays in the pomo market. So he was encouraging people at that time that when you're looking at making money, you can sit in those value chains. You got it. Now, we extend that to the export business. Processing. All right, processing. Every time you wear a belt, I mean, if somebody would tell you that belt you're wearing, the pomo was gotten from somewhere in Katsina.
Yeah.
And you just be wondering that, how possible is it? Yet it is possible.
Including your belts that they write made Italian leather.
Oh, yeah. So, look, myself,
it's our pomo here.
Remember, I attended a leather fair some 2 months ago now?
2 months.
Good. So that leather fair took myself and Razak doing some more research. So I went somewhere in Lagos here to go and do more research. All right. And I was amazed. Look, I was amazed at what Nigerians are doing with leather. All right. With leather for making shoes, leather for making belts. All right. on the soil of this Lagos. Majority of them Igbo guys. Igbo guys, you understand? So there's a lot of ingenuity around it. So when you see those things, you must make up your mind, all right, that you want to be a part of that opportunity.
So which takes us to the next question, and I want you to elaborate on that, because we've agreed that Pomo is a challenge here. It's a challenge, for good or for ill. Some people, you know, I remember saying to my wife, "What's in Pomo? There is no nutrition in Pomo." My wife looked at me and said, "Really? Really?" And I've learned not to argue about my wife. My wife was convincing me about the nutritional value of Gary. I'm like, what? like, and you know, and I remember her schooling me about yam being a detoxifier and why, because, you know, and these are some things I struggle with. So, and, you know, and she wants me to eat yam, and yam is a bit too heavy in mine. And then she gave me this lecture, and like, oh. And then I went and checked it out. I was like, this same yam? So this, and then she reminded me, like, where do you think fat is stored? You know, the bulk of it is in the skin. It's just under it. So, you know, Pomo even meets your fatty needs for those who need more fat. So it is a challenge. How do we overcome this challenge? How do we convince Nigerians to abstain from eating all the belts and the bags and the shoes? I want you to factor in that to what you are building. I'm doing it to you on purpose, because you are frowning your face and looking at me but I don't want to stop eating.
Look, your wife has done a very good job, you know, by doing that analysis for you. Because, I mean, like I say, you must count one before you count two.
Yes,
human beings must live. All right. It's a long old delicacy. Me, I've written an article about Pomo on Facebook before. You know, you eat, you know, they're this fluffy, you know, soft.
Yes, the fatty.
The fatty ones. And you feel the eating, you know. Yeah. And somebody will be bold enough to tell you that it does not have a value. The person will look at you straight in your face and tell you that this thing you're eating doesn't have value. No, please, let's say another thing.
It's like I used to say, what's the value? When I was growing up in Ibadan, I used to see kids drinking gari and coconut. And I used to wonder, what is the gari and coconut?
Look, it's difficult to tell in Nigerian. I don't know how to push it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to push it. You know, I don't know what incentive the government are going to bring tomorrow and tell people that, look, they should not eat Pomo. If you go to the abattoirs, all right, you can imagine the humongous quantity, all right, of the Pomo that is being awaited in the marketplace at the retail points. I mean, maybe when Nigerians probably call into the program, they'll tell you whether they have to choose.
But if we're eating all this Pomo, how are we going to make more dollars from?
It's difficult.
You have to count one before you count two. You know, your stomach first, $4.
When I check the price of a Gucci bag,
okay,
is 3.3 million naira. That's about $1,420. One. So the mini bag.
Yeah.
The belt costs you around 1 million naira.
Yeah.
And the red one is more expensive.
Yeah.
And all those skin highs are in Shokoto.
And you will sit down and eat that whole Gucci bag. Eat that Gucci bag.
We need
3 million naira worth of Pomo. Without any conscience.
Oh yeah. Look. You guys don't understand what you're talking about here. Look, I grew up as a child. And my late mom, dare not cook soup without Pomo inside of it.
I think he was my costing teacher, business maths teacher.
Okay.
Who used to say stuff like as good as cheap as second-hand clothing. You know, so this thing, this question actually as cheap as second-hand clothing. One day he said, "Come, you know my place is called Pomo Willie."
Okay.
Willie, yeah. And he says, "What is the nutritional value
of Willie?"
He said, "You're wasting your money." You know, because when we eat, you know, our rice and we like to put with it inside. He said, "There's no nutritional value." There's absolutely not. Then we got
always been my philosophy until my wife, you know, scrub the floor with me.
So why is everybody struggling with that reality? You understand that there's value in Pomo?
Well, the value is in your palate and your long throat. I hear all what my wife says about.
I'm feeling attacked. Now I'm feeling attacked.
Eating back down your throat, showing back into your belt.
You are eating 3.3 million naira. Each time you eat
That Pomo you ate last night. That's a 1 million naira Gucci belt.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time. So it's a challenge. What do we like? Seriously, we're not going to say people shouldn't eat, but clearly there is a market here. I give you 30 seconds. What do we need to do?
There's a market. There's a market, and the market is in processing. All right. Don't let us get carried away. About the fact that that we can eat Pomo. It also gives us the opportunity to be able to do more investments. All right, more investment in that area. All right. Anywhere that you see a lot of demand, put your eyes there. There is a market there. Okay? Because again, unfortunately, to export Pomo out of Nigeria is banned. Right? It is banned. I mean, I can tell you for free that my younger brother, when we finished wedding last year, 60,000 naira worth of Pomo was confiscated at Atlanta Airport. I packed the box. I was going to pack the box.
Okay, you are part of the crime. They should come and arrest you. But we will take a break. Hold that thought. How are all these Nigerian Pomo going and forming Italian leather and coming back to us if it is banned? More insights right after this.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
International Energy Insurance. Tell me what you want. We've got the energy to care for all your needs. Hey, all your needs. Everybody needs somebody, someone to be there, somebody to care. So don't you worry, my friend.
International Energy Insurance is a Nuremberger company. We are prepared for you in case of the unexpected. International Energy Insurance PLC. Energy.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids the new Milo 3-in-1. Milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Do you have a low JAM score? No need to waste a year at home. Now University of Nigeria's School of Preliminary Studies offers you an alternative route into the university. Operating in Abuja, Now SPS prepares students for direct entry admission into 200 level at any Nigerian university through JUPEB. Visit sps.nowuniversity.edu.ng or call 0906 906 8447 to apply now.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
When it's football you want, get it all on DSTV. All the leagues, all the cups, all the matches live. Because when it comes to football, we've got it all. All day, all night. No matter what package you're on, you're always going to get football on DSTV.
Get an HD decoder at the promo offer of 22,900 Naira and stay connected. DSTV, your home of football.
trader, are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM is the name. Trading with us is a brand new game. Come on, feel alone, execution slow. Switch to HFM, watch your success grow. Higher leverage, tighter spreads and swap free. Got your back in this financial fight. Trade forex, commodities, indices, shares and more. Just come and see HFM online trading. Withdrawals, deposit done in a dash. Our execution too fast. HFM stands apart from the rest. HFM stands apart from the rest.
Pico, HFM finito, HFM is ito. HFM national platform, online trading, forex trading. Any trading, HFM no delay.
Join HFM today. Visit www.hfm.com or download the HFM app on Google Play or App Store. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Lagos, are you ready for lightning fast internet experience? Let's go.
VD communication, great value in the line, so fast and easy. The broadband you demand, affordable and excellent. We stand out from the rest. 24/7 customers. VDT, bringing you the speed you need. VDT, connect with us, it's guaranteed. With VDT, it's a brighter day. Affordable, capable, slow, fast. Choose VDT, the connection that lasts.
For that buzzing internet in Lagos, choose VDT Broadband. Now, 52 banks also trust VDT for their enterprise internet. Yes, 52 banks. Plus, enjoy VDT LTE internet with data rollover and free night browsing for the SME plan. Now, call 090-629-02983 or visit www.vdtcoms.com to choose your data plan and enjoy 24/7 customer service that keeps you smiling.
Why did it take you so long at the hospital?
It was a very stressful day. We spent 2 hours traveling, all for a 10-minute consultation.
Well, I told you about Mobi Health. With Mobi Health, you can enjoy virtual consultation by qualified doctors from all over the world from the comfort of your home. It is very convenient and cheap.
Really? Tell me about it.
You even get an e-prescription and health education to manage your health. Your prescription will be sent to a reputable pharmacy and your drugs can be delivered to you at home, or you can choose to pick them up. If you need to visit the hospital, you will be referred.
Wow! How much is it?
Mobi Health offers plans as low as 5,000 naira per year for you and your family to be covered. Register today at apps.mobihealthinternational.com and you can begin to enjoy healthcare from the comfort of your home. For more information, call us on 0700-020-0044.
Mobi Health, providing affordable healthcare globally.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
So we are faced with a conundrum. Pomo is big money and it's big delicacy. Here in this part of the world, we love our pomo. Even those who think it has no nutritive value, they can't do without it nonetheless, especially when wrapped in pepper sauce and you know what I mean. But here it is. So the Association of Cow, let me take my glasses off. The Association of Cattle Breeders, they are called the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN. They say, so listen to the conundrum. The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria said that Nigeria earns approximately $1.2 billion every year from the exportation of hides and skin, aka pomo. On the other hand, you go to the website of Nigeria Customs, hide and skin banned from exportation. You go to the website of the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC, NACO, banned. And let me just read a paragraph there. Some of the items as published on the website of NCS include maize, timber, rough or sawn, maize, timber, rough or sawn, raw hides and skin, including wet blue, and all unfinished leather. Pomo is clearly not finished leather. It is leather at its crudest form. Scrap metals and unprocessed rubber latex and rubber lumps, all banned. So what these people are saying is that we can't even export pomo. But Nigeria hide and skin is everywhere in the world, including those belts that you see Italian leather written on. And I think we've talked about it before.
Yes.
On strong authority that this is Nigerian leather. It doesn't add up. Nii was sharing a thought about his brother who got about, 60,000?
Naira worth of pomo. It was a whole lot then.
60,000 naira worth of pomo?
Yeah.
I even thought it was $60,000. So it was just pomo that the guy wanted to eat?
Yeah, for
not even commercial?
No, not commercial. It was seized in.
They seized. How do you see a man's pomo?
I was heartbroken. I wish I just dropped it so that I could, consume it myself.
Yeah.
I was really heartbroken. But because they'll just thrash it in your presence. They'll not thrash it anyway. They'll just take it and just put in a dump.
Yeah.
Your presence there.
Yeah, but we already know that certain things are not allowed. You cannot take meat. I think fish.
Meat as well, yeah.
Fish, eggs, these things.
But the thing about it, for the US is that so there are considerations, right? Depending on what part of US you're trying to come into, you may get carried away. You buy a ticket, you go through the wrong route, and it just gets complicated, If perhaps they had gone probably to California directly, all right, yeah, he probably would have gone inside, like that, because it's not commercial, right?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be for consumption, personal consumption. And they can be lenient in those instances at times because they don't want some of those things in there. What do you call it? Because they don't know how they were processed, and those things are they're major issues, in this country. Yeah.
So I'm sitting down here. I'm talking about the fact that like you said, it's banned in the U.S.
Absolutely.
I'm probably sure because the Nigerian government usually reacts to what happens in the US and the UK, especially. I don't know, that probably has some influence. We cannot. But the point here is somebody is listening to me say you can't export pomo and saying, like, what an idiot you are, man. I'm making a killing exporting pomo. The question is, it's a challenge. How can we, if there is just so much, and I am aware that the supply of pomo, especially from northern Nigeria, exceeds demand for it.
Yeah.
Local demand. Local demand. Local consumption, pomo eating demand. And a lot of it even goes into wastage here. Anybody heard of kundi before?
I know kundi.
Kundi as an, I don't know what that is.
Kundi.
Because, for instance, cattle hide is also, donkey hide.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is kundi donkey?
Horse.
It's horse?
Yes, horse meat.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Kundi is, that means I've eaten horse before?
Yes.
What else have I eaten? I've eaten kundi before now.
Yes, now.
It's so hard.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
What of tinko?
Wow. I've had tinko, but I don't know what I've eaten. I've had tinko, but I used to hear tinko long time.
I didn't tinko, but
what is that?
Kundi.
What's tinko? I heard tinko is donkey.
Tinko is donkey. No, it's donkey or camel.
Where camel?
Camel.
I think camel meat or something.
Okay, I'm confused.
And it's quite delicious. Yeah, tinko is quite delicious. I remember.
If you've eaten horse, you've eaten donkeys,
what's
cousins. So. And I don't know, in conversation I was like, we don't see kundi again. It took me a long time. I think when I finally tried kundi, I think I was in later high school, because I had seen it in its dry form before. I felt it was miserable, and I was told you have to soak it, and it's very nice. And one of those times when we were preparing for our final exams, boys are very adventurous. We tried all sorts of things. Like, probably, if I was going to eat snake and maybe dog and cat, it would have been that time. So I remember that I had eaten kundi and I kind of liked it. Because there used to be a stall. There used to be this Dugbe market in Ibadan that, you would see there was a kundi section, right? So I thought it was a thing. It wasn't a thing in my house, so we weren't like eating kundi, but it became a delicacy from when I ate it, and I'm sure I ate it a couple more times. So all that time I was just eating a horse.
Delicious.
Why am I eating horse when we don't even have horses?
It's delicious.
I start to wonder where it comes from, actually.
Yeah.
That's why the fact that it's not even very readily available.
So, are you saying there is money to be made of hides and skin,
Obviously.
and it's
of course,
and people are making it obviously.
No,
but if I want to invest in it now, what do I do?
In all of this, and I can tell you for free.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you can buy made belts in large quantity. All right, and say you want to sell it, we will help you warehouse it in US. All right.
Yeah.
And sell it through our e-commerce platform.
Well, why would anybody in the US want to buy made in Nigeria belts?
So, have you seen these belts? It's not about made in Nigeria. It's the fact that they are quality belts.
It's the quality.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so
quality.
it's not the made in Nigeria. By the time you wear your belt, does anybody know where you bought it from? If it's not a Gucci, right? It's a regular belt.
Yeah.
You got it. And you put it there. Look, in fact,
And you can tell solid leather when you see it. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Where it
no?
comes from. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, the belts I have. I don't buy any belts. I buy quality belts.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy belts all the time. All right. So when I buy, it can stay with me for 10 years.
Yeah, or
You
beyond.
get it?
Yeah.
And these things are here. So you can buy a belt. You understand? You can buy. You say you want to do export, for example.
Yeah.
Now. We have an e-commerce platform we're building. Right. Buy 100. We'll help you warehouse it. All right, in the US, and you sell from there. You get it? Because people must wear belts. You understand? And they don't. Because what are the options they have? They probably say, oh, they're going to an Amazon to go and get a belt. You understand? Our e-commeress platform is there. It could be cheaper. It is the same belt you're buying, and that's what it is.
So which beggars another question. So they try to discourage raw hides and skin, including wet blue and all unfinished leather.
Yeah.
That means there's a market there
That's
for
it.
processing
leather. That's what we're
for
talking
processing
about.
leather locally.
That's it. That's it.
Huge.
So somebody could go to Kano, for example.
market.
Yeah.
I remember long ago, if you remember, when snake skin was a thing. You know, so snake skin was used for shoes.
Snake shoes.
You know, all of those things. And in the north, they have a whole lot of those leather things. You know, like you used to produce a lot of things. So the government is not saying don't export, right? But make sure it is not in the form that
In the
it is.
raw form.
In the raw form.
The question is, what is our processing capabilities like? Leather processing capabilities.
Look,
do we know? Maybe we should try and find out.
Yeah. So no matter how small that processing market is, right? There is a market.
Yeah, there is a market.
There's a market. So someone has to do that work. All right. If we keep putting a face on it, you understand? You would understand that people have a need for leather.
I'll be surprised if we don't already have maybe Chinese or Indian processing.
Look, you need to have seen what I saw during the leather fair I told you about. I mean, I'm telling you things that I've seen. Do you understand that Nigerians are making? You know, you marvel. All right, in those leather fairs, you know, the shoes, the bags, and all of those things. Ask them. I said, look, I'm ready to sell this for you in the US. You understand? But the question is, are they 100% made here? They tell me yes, yeah, these things are 100% made here, and I'm like, I mean, these were just ingenious. You understand? And it's quite commendable, really, for our people here.
Yeah,
you get it. So, anybody who's thinking about all of these things we're saying, sit down in processing. Do the research. Find out where you can find the skin in the cow hides. Look at what it takes for you to process them. You know, you can even process these things, you know, partly processed and sell to factories in these countries. The opportunities are there if you want to take them. That's what it is.
But outside of Momo, excuse me.
Yeah.
We still have milk from cow.
Oh yeah.
We have other stuff. So the value chain is humongous.
It's huge, yeah. It's huge.
So it's for us to process. Because if you ask me, and they say there's no value for Momo.
Yes.
There's dollar value in Momo.
In Pomo. There's money there.
Yes.
And
there is.
You know,
there's no doubt about
I've been
that.
blind to this thing. Let's bring you into this conversation. Sam from Ikwonri says, Femi, now I see you are part of the problem. You are part of our problem, I must confess to you. How will you tell me not to enjoy my God-given Pomo? I have a good substitute for belts, bags, and even shoes if you have to use my Pomo. What is a good okra soup without some healthy Pomo? What is a good brew without some good brew session without that gallant pepperish Pomo?
You don't get.
Look for something else to export to leave my Pomo. I hear you, sir. This is what do you concern NEPA for this? Let me see. Okay. Okay, I think this was about this is protest matters. I'm sure there are people who are wondering why people talking about Pomo when we should be talking about protests. What has Kofi been talking about since? Don't worry, protests. Marianne will soon come and shout more protest matters. Don't worry, there are other things besides this protest. Let's just hope that our friends and our families and our neighbors are safe. Mr. Olani Adeosun, your current guest on the show. Okay. They say they don't want you to talk about Pomo. Okay. Who is this person? GT from Ireland. Okay. I've heard you. Would have that conversation later. Okay. Thank you very much for reaching out. Sure. So this is the Fintex show. Femi Raza, good morning. Pomo is nutritional too, but the processing of cow skins is intensive and tanning needs to be top notch so they can sell as designers of high value. Kano used to have a high quality tanning industry those days, but I don't know what is obtainable now. FG and people should invest to save our foreign exchange. Good work. That's from Ayo. Yeah, the tanning business used to be a big thing in the West, and yes, we once had tanners here. As Ayo says, it's down to the quality. That is processing quality. The cow or the camel or the I don't even know whether we have enough donkeys in this part.
No, there are in the north. There are a whole lot of donkeys in the north.
Well,
as a matter of fact, at some point, it was big business where they removed the skin of donkey. I've forgotten what the business is. I mean, I was introduced to it at some point. You understand? And I was like, no, it wasn't something that I was interested in. But it was going on in the north some 5 years ago. It was big business in the north. Yeah.
All right. Oh, it'll be interesting. I mean, Ayo does have a point. Good morning, guys. You said I should stop eating my beloved Pomo when I can barely afford meat and fish for an unseen dollar. Please leave our Pomo for us, so I beg belts and bags will take care of itself. Richard Akon from Lekki. Do you want to continue to eat your Pomo or do you want dollars? I mean, it's up to you. I don't know. This is, somebody says Tinko is actually donkey. I think that's from Mandible Black. Thank you very much. Tinko is donkey. Let me see. What else? Person is talking about subsidy removal. Okay. So, thank you very much. We might take a call or two as we go. But it's always good to have these conversations. I mean, I learned something today. You overlook certain things. I remember the man who years ago, I don't know whether he's still in that business, commenced a business of public latrines, public toilets.
He died.
He died. Right? Yes. He made a ton of cash, and something is used to. It's a word I can't say on radio. It's more like poop is big business. Yeah. There's money.
Is it thriving today?
The business is still thriving.
It's thriving.
There are things that you don't really pay attention to, and just the thought of it. And I'm sitting here thinking, even if you are not exporting, what Nii said is, wherever there is a high demand, focus your attention there, and people will still eat. And I think I do not know with current realities, insecurities, and all of that. The other day I saw a video of cows being slaughtered en masse. I think it was in retaliation. I don't even know. I can't independently verify the source of that video, whether it was a Nigerian situation of war, subtle, quiet, but brewing war between crop farmers and cattle herders that we've seen over the past few years. And also because we have not taken ranching seriously in this country. Ranching is big business.
It is.
And I tell you, if I had somewhere between 300 to to half a billion, I will seriously consider a small ranch. It's big business if you know what you're doing. And why ranching is also important is that it reduces the migratory nature of the herds, which causes damage. And I remember my dear friend, the late Rotimi Sankore, used to say, the whole cowboys thing in the West, Texas and all of those places, it started, those whole cowboys thing started with a war. That kind of battle here where cows were moving because resources are not finite. The cows will eat up the resources here and then they would have to move on. Unless you build a ranch where part of your job is to do a mass production of what the cow needs. Deliberate, you are reproducing at a rate that matches your so you are planting, you are growing, you are feeding them. That way they don't have to migrate, which was also another thing the West did to learn to move these things, move cattle by trains or by whatever, because if they have to go on their own, even the herders cannot control them when they see food. It's going to be hard to tell a herd of 100 cows, they see bush and you say I should not eat. They will probably die in a stampede of cows running into that bush if you're not careful. But that is just the way things are. But to my point, there is opportunity here, no doubt.
Of course, there's opportunity. Once it has to do with nature, right? There are opportunities. Like I said earlier on, export opportunities are there. You must ask yourself, where are you close to? Are you close to, if, for example, somebody who's listening to us here is based in those places where they have those raw, hides, you understand? You start looking at how do you process them, you understand? It's a value chain, okay? You might decide and say, okay, look, I don't even want to sit there. I want to sit where the products are fully processed, maybe into belts, into bags, you understand? And you can buy them in bulk because you have money.
Yeah.
You have $1 million, you have $2 million, you buy 2,000 belts. All right, you understand? It's processed. You are allowed to export it. All right, and there are beautiful belts being made in Nigeria, in different parts of the country.
No doubt.
All right, so the opportunities are there, which is eventually going to trickle down. You understand, to those who are actually, producing the pomo in the first instance.
So, food for thought. It can be done.
Of information.
The German foreign minister went to Beijing to reaffirm that Europe would not let China invade Taiwan.
All right, hopefully Europe will not invade Taiwan and nobody else will invade anywhere. But human nature, it's sometimes wishful thinking. Invasions are coming. Whether you agree to it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you say it or not, invasions are coming. In perfect human nature, the strong will invade the weak, try to claim their thing. Sad, but that is just the reality. Let me just mind my business and talk about Pomo before I talk myself into trouble. So the point I was trying to make is that though we say raw hides cannot be imported in their rawest form,
but
it's not
how?
allowed.
How the Magban?
Yeah.
How are they doing it?
Yeah.
How do they hand so much
money? And then the argument could be maybe they do some processing.
There must be processing in between it, because it's not permitted to be done.
Yeah.
You get it. I mean, I remember there was
because even if you beat the Nigerian
system,
how are you going to beat the system there in lands?
If you go to an average freight forwarder, they will tell you straight out that they're not going to take Pomo out. Because it's neither here nor there. I see people come to ask me. There was a lady who came to me and told me she was doing Pomo, that because we have an e-commerce platform, that she wanted to be putting her product on our e-commerce platform. And I'm like, what's the product? She was like, oh, it is Pomo. And I'm like, Pomo. I said, no, you understand, for you to be able to do that in the US, you need to.
Pomo is in trouble.
Oh, yeah. You need to have an FDA certificate, you understand? And you don't have an FDA certificate, you understand, for Pomo. How does it come on our platform, right? So
if they're not even going to let me take my Pomo that I want to go and eat in my house, how about the one that's already cooked in sauce, in food? It is already cooked in the food. So you check my egusi soup and say, What is this?
So
you have some pomo in here.
So at that point, it's no more pomo, it's soup.
You get frozen.
Yeah, in a frozen state.
I found your day for you. There's a guy in Meduguri who sells 810 pieces for 46k. Should I?
810 pieces.
Yes.
Of kun. I'm just being nostalgic. I don't want to eat his horse. I don't want to eat any more horse. Skundi.
He called it what? How much did he call it?
810 pieces for 46k.
810 pieces. Oh, not bad.
Yeah, because when you look at the north, you see they have loads and loads of those kind of things, and they all come from the north.
I think they're now doing cow meat and calling it
because you can't tell.
Oh,
you can't tell.
They're saying cow meat.
Yes.
But I can't trust anything anymore. If you tell me, I can't even trust. I don't even trust the cow meat they are selling in the market itself. That is actually cow. Sometimes they'll be selling other things and calling it cow.
Yes,
it's true. That's very true.
And not everybody can tell. Not everybody can tell.
Anything goes. So there's dollar value in Momo.
There is
something we must repatriate.
But it has to be processed.
It has to be processed.
It has to be processed.
That's
what it is.
All right. Let's go to the phone lines. What number are we using? Are we back to our traditional lines? Or okay, the lines aren't cooperating. Okay, this one. But let's try. We've run out of time. Unfortunately, we've run completely out of time. All right, we can't take calls. But this is a subject we would look at again. We will review and we'll come back and talk about it. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of the program today. Nii,
thank you.
Thanks for this. Razak,
thank you.
As always, remember, if you have more questions, 0912-171-2885. 0912-171-2885. You can talk to Nii directly. That's our hotline. So, exportation gives you access. There is money to be made. Do the best you can. Have a great week. See you again next week.
Back in a moment.
I'm in love. Sonia, tomato mix, stand up. Is it too open? Is it too squeeze?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.